It is not permissible to run 12mm a non-metallic sheath cable, often referred to as NM cable, directly from the main electrical panel to a pull light switch loop located inside the house. This is a critical safety consideration, and it's essential to understand the reasons behind this restriction. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, sets forth specific requirements for electrical installations, particularly concerning swimming pools and other potentially hazardous locations. The primary concern is to minimize the risk of electrical shock and ensure the safety of individuals using the pool and its surrounding areas. Several factors contribute to this prohibition of using NM cable in this manner. Firstly, NM cable is generally intended for dry, indoor locations. It is not designed to withstand the harsh environmental conditions often present near swimming pools, such as moisture, chemicals, and direct sunlight. Exposure to these elements can degrade the cable's insulation over time, increasing the risk of electrical leakage or short circuits. Secondly, the NEC has specific requirements for grounding and bonding of pool equipment and electrical systems. Grounding provides a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, causing the circuit breaker to trip and energize the circuit in the event of a ground fault. Bonding connects all metallic parts of the pool structure and equipment together to equalize their electrical potential, reducing the risk of shock if a person comes into contact with two or more conductive surfaces. Thirdly, the switch loop itself involves running a cable from the panel to the switch and then back to the pool light. This creates a potential for voltage drop and increased resistance in the circuit, especially if the distance is significant. This can affect the performance of the pool light and may also create a safety hazard. When dealing with pool lighting circuits, it is crucial to use wiring methods that are specifically approved for wet or damp locations and that provide adequate protection against physical damage and environmental factors. Common alternatives to NM cable for pool lighting circuits include firstly, rigid metal conduit, or RMC, which is a heavy-duty steel conduit that provides excellent protection against physical damage and corrosion. Secondly, intermediate metal conduit, or IMC, which is a lighter-weight steel conduit that offers similar protection to RMC but is easier to bend and install. Thirdly, electrical metallic tubing, or EMT, which is a thin-walled steel conduit that is suitable for dry or damp locations and provides good protection against physical damage. Fourthly, liquid-tight flexible metal conduit, or LFMC, which is a flexible conduit that is resistant to moisture and chemicals and is often used for connecting pool equipment. In addition to selecting the appropriate wiring method, it is also essential to use ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection for pool lighting circuits. A GFCI is a device that monitors the current flowing in a circuit and quickly interrupts the power if it detects a ground fault, which is a leakage of current to ground. GFCI protection is required by the NEC for all circuits serving pool equipment, including lighting. When installing a pool light switch loop, it is important to follow these guidelines. Firstly, consult the NEC and local electrical codes to determine the specific requirements for pool lighting circuits in your area. Secondly, use wiring methods and materials that are approved for wet or damp locations and that provide adequate protection against physical damage and environmental factors. Thirdly, ensure that the pool equipment and electrical system are properly grounded and bonded. Fourthly, install GFCI protection for all circuits serving pool equipment, including lighting. Fifthly, use a qualified electrician to perform the electrical work. Failure to comply with these requirements can result in electrical shock, fire, or other hazards. Furthermore, it's worth noting that the specific requirements for pool lighting circuits can vary depending on the type of pool, the location of the pool, and other factors. For example, the NEC has different requirements for above-ground pools and in-ground pools. It also has different requirements for pools located indoors and outdoors. Therefore, it is essential to consult the NEC and local electrical codes to determine the specific requirements for your particular situation. In summary, running 12mm to NM cable directly from the main panel to a pool light switch loop inside the house is not permissible due to safety concerns and code requirements. It is crucial to use approved wiring methods, provide proper grounding and bonding, install GFCI protection, and consult with a qualified electrician to ensure a safe and code-compliant installation. Always prioritize safety when dealing with electrical systems, especially in potentially hazardous locations such as swimming pools. Understanding and adhering to these guidelines will help to prevent electrical accidents and ensure the well-being of individuals using the pool and its surrounding areas. Ignoring these regulations not only puts people at risk but also carries potential legal and financial consequences. It is your responsibility to ensure the electrical system is up to code.